All right, day number 6 in a 27-day mobility challenge here at the Reprogram. The last 5 days we have gone through the upper body, where I've shown you the screening tools that I use to assess optimal mobility, i.e. if an athlete or a client or anybody can perform these movements, whatever problem they are experiencing, if they are experiencing one, it is not due to their range of motion. It is most likely a biomechanical problem or a past injury that they haven't quite rehabilitated properly. So now we're going to go on to the lower body, and as you can see, I'm sat in a squat position here, and this is the first tool I use to assess general lower body health. Okay, so working from the ground up, we are looking at ankle mobility. You can see how dorsiflex my ankles are here, and generally what I am looking for, if you give this a go at home for you guys, ideally, in terms of my anthropometry, i.e. my leg length, my tibia length, my femur length, I've got quite long legs in proportion to my midline anyway. So I generally, for athletes who are slightly taller, I generally look for a third of the foot over the toe in terms of ankle mobility. So the knee is about a third of the foot over, okay? That gap here. That's ideal, because the closer I can get my hips to the center of gravity, the less I have to lean back and reach forward, okay? So at the minute, I'm completely relaxed. I don't have any muscles switched on whatsoever, pretty much. I'm not activating anything. I'm just literally sitting in the bottom of my joints, in the bottom of that pocket, okay? So, like I said, we'll work up the joints as we go, but I do sort of want to cover certain things about this position anyway, as it is a biologically parasympathetic position, okay? Regardless of what a lot of people think, this position is not actually a position of strength. It is a position of rest and digest and excrete, right? So, and it's really good in particular with people who have a high blood pressure. If you spend if you can, and you have the mobility to do this, which is why one of the reasons I assess it, is that once you are in this position and you're relaxed and you can hold this position for about 5 to 10 minutes, don't be surprised if at the end of the 10 minutes you might feel like you need to go to the toilet. You'll notice that your pulse rate and your heart rate have dropped considerably, and it's really good for just lowering blood pressure and getting into that parasympathetic state, okay? This relaxive, recuperative state. And so we just worked on the ankles there. So this ankle mobility is really important to actually allow my center of gravity to shift into that midline to allow the rest of my body to relax. Full flexion through the knees, so we get this full wrapping effect of the patella here, which is really good just to decompress the knees. So if you haven't fully flexed those knees regularly enough, and a lot of people haven't, a lot of people are kind of sat in this position a lot, okay? So to get that full flexion of the knee is actually very, very recuperative. It decompresses, it really starts working the fascia around the kneecap and starts loosening tissues off. And it's this, like I said, it's such a therapeutic position to be in. And natural. Once you can do it, it's very natural. In fact, to me, it's more comfortable than sitting on a chair or a bench or whatever, right? So, yeah, really very good for the knees, excellent for the hips. Hips are now in full flexion, so it allows that ball and socket joint to get right into that fully flexed position, creates a lot of space in that pocket, and you just feel yourself, even just being here talking to you in this position, I can feel myself slowly sinking deeper into that range of motion, and it's really doing some really good stuff, really accessing some of those end range tissues that I haven't maybe accessed for quite a while, maybe like up to a couple of weeks. And it is just a really nice feeling. Now, in terms of the lower back, this is where it's really magical. And I use this movement in particular for spinal decompression. It is the best way to decompress the spine, in my opinion. Particularly if I have my arms like this, because now I've kind of wrapped my spine into a position where it's not able to sink lower. It's kind of propped up by my arms here. And then as I stay in this position longer and longer, I'm just getting extra space throughout those discs, really allowing those discs to rehydrate, gain millimeters of space and allow that spine to decompress and just let those discs just return to that normal state. Same kind of thing as if I was going to go to sleep for 8 hours on my side and wake up. You know, you're always taller in the morning. That's why. It's because it allows that deep spine to decompress and offload that day's loading. And I'm doing the same thing here. So it's really good for just like sort of undoing those sciatica. If you're suffering sciatica, it's really good at undoing and reducing that pain. And then it allows you to sort of target the true causation of it. It just relieves a bit of those symptoms. And as we go up, also I've had clients who really it's made a difference to their neck and shoulder pain as well. And that really highlights to me how it is all connected. It's not just muscles, origins, insertions, and how they move the limbs. We tend to forget that the fascia that connects and compartmentalizes all these groups of muscles to allow us to move in these certain ways, many ways, right? Influence everything. So the fact that I can sit in the position and then, some clients feel it pulling here is a big eye-opener to how sometimes where the pain isn't always where the causation is. Okay? And when we do look at those things, if we have like hip restrictions, we always want to look at the joint above and below. And that's most likely, if you go to the Reprogram website and actually do the mobility assessment yourself, you'll see how the results of the mobility screening tells you that if you have if the cause is hip tightness, you're most likely going to get symptoms or indirect pain or injury risks in the lower back and the knee. So we're always looking at the joint above and below, because that's going to be the joint that compensates for the actual causation, the joint in question. Okay, so you'll notice that I've been sat here talking to you in this position. I'm not asking you to do it for this length of time. I'm just asking you to see if you can get into it for like 10, 15 seconds. Just see where you are. This is what it looks like where it's good. If it was bad, I would tend to see this. If it was a fail, not bad, if it was a fail, your feet will turn out. You'll be sat back like this. Some of you may even not be able to get down here without being super wide, feet turned out, because that basically means you're missing that external rotation in the ankle joint, this mobility here, okay? And that's what we'll work on as we go on through the mobility challenge. We'll look at the constituents of the squat, what make up the ability to actually be able to do this: hip external rotation, flexion, ankle dorsiflexion, and rotation through that tibia. These are all constituent parts that you need in order to accomplish this position. Okay? So other things you might notice is as they come down from a side view, as they come down here, the knees go forward, okay? So that, again, another influence of missing that external rotation and getting into that hip pocket, which means you've probably got compressed hips as well. You'll feel that anterior hip impingement against the top of the hip, and you just won't be able to do it. You'll just basically fall backwards, okay? All right, so give it a go. That's the first one of the lower body active mobility drills. Let me know how it goes in the comments. If you're interested in what I do and you want to learn out more about the Reprogram, go to www.thereprogramonline.com. Thanks for watching. Check this out.
Hi there, I'm Andrew Graham, founder of the Reprogram Online, and if you're here, it's likely because you are feeling the frustration of a body that just isn't performing the way it used to. Maybe it's a nagging joint pain, the frequent injuries, or the simple truth that despite all your efforts, you're not seeing the results you desire. As a busy professional, I understand how valuable your time is. You want a body that not only performs well, but one that you can enjoy and that you know is capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Yet, finding the right path in today's fitness industry is like navigating an untamed jungle of misinformation, quick fixes, and empty promises, often leaving you frustrated or worse. That's why I created the Reprogram, a comprehensive training system designed to not only build a strong athletic physique, but to do it in a way that prioritizes injury prevention, joint health, and longevity. By merging concepts from physical therapy and strength and conditioning, the Reprogram targets and alleviates the very issues that are keeping you from moving forward. Starting with our free mobility assessment, we will identify these issues, as well as your potential risk of injury, and design your training program based on your results. You see, many people think they need more, but often what they really need is better. It's not about lifting the heaviest weight or doing endless reps. It's about focusing on what truly matters so that you can build a body that's not only aesthetic, but resilient. A body that works with you, not against you. The Reprogram is built for men who understand that their body is their most valuable asset and who refuse to let joint pain and past injury dictate their future. Using the 3-stage training system, you'll regain your mobility, correct muscle imbalances, and improve your posture, all with minimal equipment. I mean, imagine a life where you're not just managing pain, but actually eliminating it and getting stronger every day. Believe me, I understand the frustration of trying to stay active when your body seems to resist every step. But with the right approach, that frustration can quickly turn into fuel for change. The Reprogram is designed to respect your time and deliver results in a way that actually teaches you about your body. So, are you ready to break the cycle and unlock your potential? Then I invite you to start your journey today. Remember, this is about you, investing in your future, your health, your quality of life. Click the Get Started button to begin your free mobility assessment. I'm Andrew Graham, and I'm here to help you banish pain, optimize mobility, and unleash strength one step at a time. Let's get started.